Hello, everyone. As a lot of you have been requesting, I am trying to take my time here to create this introduction video to our products as well as our company compensation structure. Normally, we would do this through a live seminar only, but because of a lot of you have been requesting this for your reference, I'm going to go ahead and try to do this anyways, just so you have something to review, and also hopefully you can use the same reference to send it out to the people who you would like to recruit to your team somewhere out there. It's a lot easier than having to meet them face to face. So I think it's a great idea. The only thing that we should be mindful of is that this video was created by me from home, so it's not a very professional material. Please excuse any noises that you have. Today is actually March the 26th of 2020. We are in a pandemic uh, situation, and Houston is where I live, is having a shelter in place order. So I have a lot of time in my hand. That's a perfect time for this video. So hopefully you enjoy this, and hopefully it will be helping a lot of you out there. So we start this video by introducing you to some of the products that we offer at the company. Here, if you notice the slogan, Building a Better Life, I love that slogan because that's exactly what we do. We try to help people to build a better life. And how? I'm going to explain that to you on the next slides. So here, as you see, these are a few of our products. If you go to thaicapitalinvestment.com and click on financing, and then you see a drop down of the many things that we do. But here are a few main products that we have. Starting with credit repair, I want you to focus on this because this will help people to get themselves together, help them rebuild their credit, uh, get back on track, and then once they have a much better credit, we'll try to help them with a personal loan, okay, or a personal credit line so they can grow. They can do a lot more things. They can change their life, right? So once their life is changing for the better, they may think about getting a home, and that's when the mortgage loan will come in, right? So once they have a home, they may think about opening a new business. That's when our business loan and our cash advance lending programs would come along, and it's a complete cycle. So hopefully, what we have here will help people to rebuild their life, to uh, build a better life. Okay. How easy is it to sell our products? Now, if you have ever been a salesperson, you know how difficult it is to do a hard sell. And how hard sell is when you have a product in your hand, you go and you see a customer, you try to sell it to make money on it. Okay, that's a hard sell. So if you're selling a piece of soap, or you're selling a jar of makeup, or you're selling a car, that's a physical product. It's a hard sell. You sell it so that the customer would pay you for it. Okay, so a hard sell is actually a very difficult sell. Life is going to be tough, because if you're selling things like that, and you have to keep on selling it for a living. To me, I think it's tough. Not a lot of people like that job. Um, Particularly myself, I used not to like it, but after a few incidents, and I became a businessman myself, and I start loving it, and so here we are. But as far as selling is concerned, is our product a difficult product to sell? No. The answer is zero difficulty. Okay, what we are selling is something that we're giving. Okay, we're selling by giving, not selling by taking, as an example of a hard sell. And the next good thing about our product is that you will receive residual income. Okay, the residual income will keep coming back to you from the same customer without you having to resell it again. When they have a first loan, and then and then we offer them a second loan, we offer them a third loan, and it just go on and on, and then you get your residual income. Okay, so that's the next very good thing about the product. Now, a lot of you out there will be thinking, I'm not good at sales. I don't know how to sell things. I've never thought of myself being a salesperson, right? Same here. I was born quiet. I'm the quiet person in my house, in my family. I my my first jobs were my engineering job. I sit at the office doing my technical things. Hardly talk to anybody besides the corporate meetings that we have. I've never thought of myself as a salesperson. I don't ever think I could sell anything, right? Uh, but you'll be surprised, right? So um, even if you think you're not good at sales, we have an opportunity for you here at the company. We design a system for you to take advantage of, to build a huge sales team, an army of salespeople to sell for you when you think you're not good at sales. But if you're good at sales, perfect. Concentrate on that goal. Keep selling. Sell as much as you could. Build your portfolio, uh, and then along with building your team as well. So this is the opportunity that would fit anybody out there. This slide is important. It's mentioning about some of the advantages of selling our product, representing our company. The main key here is building your own network. If you've ever thought about doing business, you ever thought about doing something on the side that belongs to you, building a network is extremely important. It's not who you are; it's who you know, right? So here I I have a story for you. I want to tell you a quick story about myself. Okay, so 9/11 is when the U.S. was being terrorized by the terrorists. Of course, everybody know about that. Uh, my company laid me off. I was out of job for 2 years. Everybody was laid off. Right? Everybody was looking for a job. I was difficult, very difficult to get a job. So I was laid off. I was out of job for 2 years. While I was out of job, I was I wrote a book, and the name of the book is called "Learn Computer in One Day." Right. So uh, after I finished writing the book, it's actually the time when I also finished using all my savings. So I was stuck. I was mad. I was, I have something, but then I don't have anything because I don't have any money to print the book to make money off. So I was thinking, what am I going to do with this? I spent 2 years to write this book. Now I don't have money to print. What am I going to do, right? So I think and think and think, and then I finally came up with a solution. I wanted to go out there and try to get advertisements for my book. Now, first of all, when you hear that, you think it's kind of crazy, right? Because um, almost 100% of the books out there don't ever have any ads in it, right? The only time you would see an ad is from a magazine or a newspaper, but you hardly see an ad on the book. And I know it was crazy, but that's my only choice, right? So I have to go out there. I go and knock on doors. I go to businesses, and I try to get advertisements. I was trying and trying, but it was so difficult. It's even harder than a hard sell because guess what? I don't have a product. I don't have a real product. When you go out there with a jar of makeup in your hand, at least that's the product that you're trying to sell, right? What I'm selling now is just an idea or something that I have in my computer that nobody sees, right? Um, so 100 of those questions that was asked, I have no answer to. Listen to this. Some of them ask me uh, when the book is going to come out. I have no idea. How many pages are you going to have? I don't know because I don't know what size it would be. Uh, is it going to be black and white, color? I don't know. Where are you going to be distributing your books? I have no idea. How many copies will you have? I don't know. So I don't have a product. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it, and I'm trying to get people to pay for it. So it's almost like a something that's never going to happen to me, right? So uh, if I gave up at the time, nothing is going to happen. There's no story for you to listen to, right? But I was persistent. I was like, this is what I want to do, and it's going to happen. I know it sounds crazy. I know it's almost impossible, but I want to make it happen. So persistent. I was really persistent, right? So I sat down and I thought about it. What am I doing wrong? Why are these people not paying me for the advertisements, right? So of course, I know some of the answers. Of course, I don't have a product. That's why. Of course, I have no answers to whatever that I do. People are not going to believe me. Yes, of course. But then what else? Okay. So the next thing that I could think of is because I'm trying to make money out of them. That's why they keep saying no. They're not going to give me any money. That's another problem, and actually that's the main problem, right? But how am I going to solve that problem? I know that I'm going to have a product. I know that I'm going to have those answers. But then, okay, those are the known factor. But what about this unknown factor? What am I going to do when they don't want to give me anything? What I'm trying to get is I'm trying to take something away from them, right? So the only solution to that is to give them something, So, and it's also crazy, right? You're trying to make money. You're trying to get people to pay for your advertisement. What do you have to give, and why are you giving? That's not the whole point of it, right? But then I thought about it. I said, yes, I know that, but that's the only solution, right? So I concentrate on that, right? Finally, listen to this. Finally, I found a solution to that. I'm gonna give them something, right? So I was flipping through a yellow page booklet. You know, on the yellow page there are so many ads in there. I picked one that has a very nice picture of a decent looking gentleman named John, and John was an insurance agent, right? I called him up. He looks presentable. He looks nice. So I called him up. I said, "Hey, John, how are you? I'm gonna come up with a book. I just wrote my first book, and I would like to place your ad in that for free." And I was like, "Wow, why me? Why free?" And I said, "It's my first product, so I'm trying to put something useful for the community. So I chose you, and it's free. You don't have to pay me anything, right?" So John was like, "Wow, thank you. What can I do for you? Can I do something for you in return?" And I said, "Not really, but because I don't know anybody around here. I've never done business. I'm sure you've been in business for a while. If you know anybody that you can help me to get some advertisement, I would really appreciate it. But hey, that's not what I'm expecting." And he said, "You got it." You know, so we hang up. And listen to this. 5 minutes later, you would not imagine. 5 minutes later, John called, picked up the phone. He said, "Hey, guess what? I got you two ads. Two ads. And I believe at the time I think they paid me $500 per ad, so I got $1,000 in 5 minutes. Okay, you see my point? Okay, I I was selling by giving. I gave John something for free, something that I don't even have for free. And in return, I have automatically turned him into my sales agent, a sales agent with credits, a sales agent with connections, a sales agent that would be able to get the ads for me when when I don't have any product in hand, right? So that's that's interesting. I thought it was interesting. I would like to share that with you so you can imagine how difficult a sales job could be. But yet, if you're persistent, if you have a strategy, if you're different, if you think different, if you're positive about everything, you can make that happen. Whereas the products that we have here is a financial product. You're selling by giving, you're representing a financial company, you're on top of everybody else, your product is professional, You're giving people things, and everything is laid out for you. It's unlike what I have experienced in my life, right? So also use this to build your network, guys. I mean, I was, I went door to door and I get rejected. Some people would don't even talk to me, like, oh, go away, I don't have time for this, but guess what, you're having right now, you'll be representing these financial products. It will be so much easier for you to approach somebody and say, hey, do you need a loan? I can help you with a loan. I can help you to get more funds for your business. Even if they don't need a loan right now, they will still open up to talk to you, and that's how you build your connections. So eventually, within a few months, you'll see how important that is. A connection is everything. You know. Um, so take this opportunity, take the products that we have, and turn it into gold. Before, actually, I want to tell you a second story that's following the first story. I'm kind of in a mood for that. So, okay, so I printed my first book, right? I finally have enough money to print the first book. I was really good. People are loving it. I was printing it the second time. I printed it the third time. But guess what? I still, I still have no money. You know why? Most bookstores out there will only take my books in as a consignment, meaning I have to ship them the books. They don't pay me anything until they sold all the books. And guess what? 90% of those bookstores don't pay me anything. Period. Okay. There are times when I travel somewhere out there and I just visit a bookstore randomly, and I don't see my books there. I asked them. They said it's out. But then when we call them for payments, they said, oh, we haven't sold anything. Right. So all my money is still in the bookstore. I still have zero money left for my savings. I'm back to square one. Okay. So one day I was sitting in a coffee shop with some college friends, right? And we were talking about how these very successful people are out there. They're everywhere. They're so successful. What happened to us? Why we're sitting there having a poor conversation where we can't even afford our food here. So I was thinking the only way to get those answers is to ask those millionaires, to ask those billionaires. But how are they going to talk to you? They're not going to have time to sit down and share their story with you, right? So, and I was thinking, what am I going to do to get that done? So I thought of creating a magazine, a newspaper, a magazine, something like that. So I can use that to interview them. That's my reason for them to share their story, right? So that's it. I'm all set. There's a plan in my mind, right? But again, this is even more difficult than building the book, than writing a book and getting it printed, right? It is extremely difficult because creating a magazine is something totally different from writing a book, guys. I mean, your viewers, your readers are going to be everybody, right? And I don't know how to write. I don't know how to print a magazine. I am not a graphic designer. Where am I going to find these writers for my magazine? And all that. All that. I don't have an answer for, right? But I just know that I need to have it done. And again, I was very persistent. So that's my plan. I told my friends, they were laughing. I told my dad, he went away. He didn't even say anything because I was so embarrassed of my idea, right? So everybody was like, no, no, no. But actually, that's another point that I would like to make. When everyone thinks that you are doing it wrong, you're actually doing it right. Because if everybody tell you that what you're doing is right, then you're actually wrong. Guess what? 95% of the people out there are not successful. The successful people are only 5% in this world, right? So, so if the majority is telling you that what you're doing is right, you better worry about that. Okay. So everybody was telling me you're crazy. You don't know what you're saying. You're just crazy, right? So again, I I took a piece of paper from my printer, right? Just a blank piece of paper and a pen. I'm not even an artist. I am very bad at drawing, but I tried. I went to the internet. I found a picture of a gentleman in suit sitting on his desk. I tried to draw that, and that was slobby. It was bad, right? But then I put in the title for the cover. Like this billionaire sharing his story, whatever. And I try to make it look like a cover, but it's actually hand written. Everything is by hand. That was slobby, very slobby, right? I took that piece of paper, going business to business, telling them that I'll be doing this magazine. This magazine will be interviewing all these billionaires and tell and write about their story and share their experience with the whole world, so everybody can learn how to be successful. I was trying to give them this whole picture of what I'll be doing, right? Of course, it was interesting, but everybody was saying no. They turned me all down. It took me about another 3 months again to realize that nobody's going to take this idea. I have to do everything I could to make the first one to come out so I can have a product, you know. So I sat down and was like, okay, let's reuse the same strategy that I used for my book. I was calling people, I was trying to offer free ads, and there we go. I have enough money to print the first magazine, right? Magazine number 1, month 1. Um, to make the story short, the magazine was very, very successful. It was featured in Continental Airlines, in EVA Airlines, in China Airlines. Those airlines carry my magazine. It was that successful. And I had that for about, I think, 8 years. And then a lot of things happened and we shut it down. But anyways, the point that I was trying to make is the persistent, the positivity that someone needs to have in order to make their dream happen. Okay, I want to share that with you so you can see how easy it is for you to sell a business loan product. I have built all the strategies here for you. I've built the system for you. I've built the product for you. Working with our product will be working smart. No hard labor. You spend less time but much greater results. You get ongoing residual income from every sale, and not including, the income stream from everyone from your team. You could have 625 people. You can have thousands of people working for you. Each of them bring in a contract. You make money. Okay.